campo yo vivo triste, cada día sufriendo más. Ay Dios, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba me voy a morir. Campo yo vivo triste, cada día sufriendo más. Ay Dios, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba me voy a morir. Sobre Jasmira yo vivo triste, cada día sufriendo más. Ay Dios, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba me voy a morir. Campo yo vivo triste, cada día sufriendo más. Ay Dios, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba me voy a morir. Si no bailo esta bomba me voy a morir.
Bomba is an Afro-Puerto Rican and indigenous art, and it was a dance, singing, and like musical style, which with instruments like hand drums, maracas, güiro, gua. It was made and formed by the enslaved people in Puerto Rico alongside indigenous ancestors that were there, and a combination of the Spanish cultures also mixed into that. But it was originated by us as Black people and brown people to find joy in the hardest times. Even with the roughest stories, it was made for us to find joy and find connection and community and create a sense of home, since so many of our influences come from Africa, from West Africa.
Bomba is a very communal art form. The function of bomba wasn't to present and perform. I knew that. It wasn't until I went to Puerto Rico to Loíza and saw bomba really happening for real, where I really felt like, oh, this is it. The community comes together. It's not on a stage, it's on the ground. There's a circle, there's drummers. So that's like the bate, and that's the bombazo, and that's what bomba is. True bomba is that community space.
Bomba is really about getting the people together, coming in a space of community, sharing culture and passing down stories from our ancestors. I honestly didn't really consider myself an artist. However, I think that has changed now that I've been more involved with Borican Culture Center and specifically dancing bomba music and learning how to play on the drum. So, yo tengo una hija y ella tiene 7 años y cuando tenía 4 años yo vi que había un programa de niños, de un taller de 6 semanas de cómo bailar bomba y hacer arte y tocar. So, de ahí ella empezó y yo también empecé también. And one thing that I'll add that is just so special is to be here in Minnesota and playing and dancing bomba music with my daughter and maintaining those cultural traditions, even though we're so far away from the island. It's just such a special feeling to be able to be singing some of the same songs that our ancestors sang so many years ago.
I lead drumming sessions every Wednesday at the Black Youth Healing Arts Center, and then every last Friday of the month at Indigenous Roots Cultural Center. Those are both in St. Paul. So it's really like wanting youth to have spaces where we can practice bomba or just really practice drumming and healing. But now it's become this intergenerational thing where we're all like learning. There's so many of us that don't know about bomba or don't know about our roots.
Hace 400 años se toca bomba en las plantaciones y en las plantaciones de caña, ¿no? Así que en 400 años hemos cargado esta historia, hemos sobrevivido con ellas, ¿no?
It originated on the island of Puerto Rico. It was created by the enslaved people of West Africa. they were really like remembering and trying to reclaim their own musical heritage, traditions, and customs in this new place that they had been taken to against their will. So they created Bomba. The Taínos, they are attributed with the maraca, the long dress, and some of the movements in the dance, you know, have like instances and sort of parts of flamenco, has a lot of Spanish influence. And then the drums, the act of sort of improvising the dance is like something that came from the West African aspect of the music, the call and response. Style of song, and then even the languages that are used in Bomba, which are a mixture of some Yoruba, some Spanish. And it's really meaningful to me because, you know, we teach the music, but it's not only about like learning a new dance style. The music and this, you know, folkloric art is really telling the story of the people of Puerto Rico, and also the story of transatlantic slavery, the story of colonialism, the story of seeking liberation, of holding onto your history, of oral tradition, and so it's really representative of the culture and the community of Puerto Rico.
Ay, me gusta mucho la historia de las canciones, ¿no? Todo lo que conlleva la canción, el background de esta canción, ¿no? Por ejemplo, Fuego, Fuego en Bucaná, un incendio que ocurrió en una hacienda en Ponce.
Fuego, fuego, Bucaná, se quema la hacienda Bucaná.
The story I was told was there was like an hacienda, there was a landowner's home, and he owned a lot of slaves, and there was a huge fire that happened there. And he asked the enslaved African who lived there, he said, if you go back and you're able to save some of my stuff in this big fire, I'll grant you your freedom. And they said, well, that's like, what if I die? Like, I'm not gonna be granted my freedom if I die. And they said, well, if you go, I'll grant your whole family their freedom too. And it was a moment when a lot of enslaved people were able to escape slavery through that request from this landowner in Bucaná. So that's just like an example of that oral tradition where we're able to continue to pass on that story of when these enslaved people were able to achieve their freedom.
Y que a través de la bomba y en esa canción se pudo transmitir esa noticia a Fajardo, a Mayagüez, a San Juan. So que la bomba tiene tanto poder no solo en la música, sino en transmitir noticias, en transmitir historias, año tras año tras año. Pero a través de la canción, la voz, repetición, esa misma noticia se sigue transmitiendo tras los años.
Like, I started off singing these songs in Bomba and hearing the messages like Campo, Campo yo vivo triste, cada día sufriendo más. Ay Dios, ¿qué será de mí? Si no bailo esta bomba, me voy a morir. I love opening up performances with that song, because that is the core of Bomba that always gets to me. It's like, if I do not dance, if I do not play, if I do not sing, I will feel a pain so strong that I will die. And that resilience in these lyrics, all these songs that we sing in Bomba have some kind of story. Mamá, cuídame a Belén, mamá. Ay, qué dolor tengo yo. Ay, qué dolor, que busque un doctor. Ay, qué dolor mi corazón. But it's all storytelling.
We learned that some of them like have roots from West Africa and have like really powerful meanings about sort of higher powers and just energies of nature. You know, there's some talk about some Yoruba deities.
individuals and families in the diaspora like us use it as a way of connecting ourselves to that tradition that is so rich, that is about resilience, that is about celebrating who we are and feeling proud of who we are. Bomba is life. Bomba is freedom. Bomba is really the force that makes us move forward. And Bomba is something that we have as a comunidad that can bring us together and make us stronger. We can face anything, and we use Bomba to keep us ongoing.
When it comes to Bomba, the act of performing Bomba itself as a Boricua is an act of resistance. So just being able to be joyful, to be able to grow and connect with communities all around is an act of resistance. And being able to spread the message of power, of fight, of stay strong is resistance. And like you see Bomba at protests, you see Bomba as support in a community. You see like African calls, like it's all connected.
One of my favorite songs is Bambulae, Seaya. I feel like the biggest answer to resistance is knowing who you are and being empowered, knowing your power, so you can move through the world with it. Bambulae, Bambula means remember who you are, and then Seaya means be that already. So you think about us chanting Bambulae, Seaya, remember who you are and be that right now. I think even the most empowered people, sometimes we might forget or get distracted or just see challenges in the 3D and get caught up in details sometimes. But when you can remember, Bambulae, Seaya, be empowered, that just helps you live your best life. So I see Bomba even simply like that. Like Bomba is really helping you to be your best self if you allow it to.
Ay, Bomba para mí es revolución. Plantarte en ese batey y aclamar ese espacio que es tuyo y que nadie puede tomártelo. Gracias a nuestros ancestros y a nuestros antepasados, ¿no? Que sacrificaron mucho para poder bailar un domingo y tener ese domingo libre, que se reunían entonces en las plazas o en las plantaciones para poder tener ese momento de gozo y ese momento de que ya no tengo un yugo en mí, pero cuando yo estoy en el batey, yo soy quien manda. O sea, y ese poder y la conexión con tu historia, con tus antepasados, se siente mucho, y eso para mí eso es la bomba, una revolución y un poder y reconocer que esto es parte de mí. Esto era mío, es mío y seguirá siendo mío. Eso para mí es la bomba.
Pasico mangual. Pasico mangual.